And there has been a lot of attention lately about the lesser known side effect from COVID-19, tinnitus. It's a constant ringing in your ear that can be debilitating. Stephanie Whitfield connects the dots.
A new study suggests a surprising number of coronavirus patients are suffering from issues with their hearing. Let's connect the dots. The research out of the University of Manchester in Britain found nearly 15% of COVID patients reported tinnitus, a ringing in the ears. Nearly 8% reported hearing loss, while just over 7% suffered from vertigo. Hearing problems can be caused by other viruses like measles and mumps because they damage the sensory cells in the inner ear. It isn't clear why COVID-19 could cause ear issues, and it's not clear how long those symptoms last. Some patients report ongoing problems, while others say they clear up after a while. While the research strongly suggests a link between coronavirus and auditory problems, more studies are needed. Right now, there's a year-long study being conducted in the UK to investigate the long-term impact on hearing in coronavirus patients. The team leading the research is hoping to find out what parts of the auditory system are affected. Once they can track that down, they hope to be able to help people who are suffering.